This is Sports Matters with Jerry Coughlan.
It's so retro.
We cover all the biggest sports on the planet. MMA, boxing, snooker, football, darts, you name it, and we cover it.
Okay, so welcome to Sports Matters with me, Jerry Cahalane. Yet again, another wrestling exclusive. CCW taking over Ireland by storm. I'm joined by the owner, Lee Cahalane. How's things, my man?
Not too bad, Jerry. Thanks for having me, man. It's always good, I suppose. You know what I mean? Wrestling day.
It is. Are you in good form today, or are you angry? How's the establishment? It's slowly conquering the world. You're not going to attack me today, are you?
No. I'm not going to attack you at all. I'll leave that. I'll save that for later on here in Middleton.
Cool.
I suppose you know yourself. The guys, they'll have to be ready for us. You know, they're myself and Lycan. We're in the building tonight, and we're going to take some names again, as we do always. You know.
I like it. Straight to the point. And of course, just tell us, Lee, where did it start first day for you? Because obviously being the owner, there must be massive interest because you've took on this organisation, you're all over Ireland, you're making a name. So tell us, how did it all start?
It started, I suppose, you know, it starts from a young age, really, a real passion for watching pro wrestling. I started watching wrestling in around the late 90s, kind of 97, 98. Just was absolutely obsessed with it, really. There used to be a few shows on in Cork City and Kerry areas before the old American Rampage and all that kind of stuff, and kind of dried up. There was no real shows down here, so I just, you know, one day, you know, I had a few spare bucks, and I said, look, we'll put on a show, see how it goes, and you know, we put on a second show and a third show and fourth show. We set up a school, and here we are 4 years later. In fact, actually, last Friday was our 4-year anniversary, so, you know, it grew arms and legs, and, you know, here we are today. You know?
And I actually remember the American Wrestling Rampage. I remember the old one where they used to have the replica Kane, and they'd have the replica Undertaker, Neptune and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They were, we were a lot younger back then, but just tell us, how proud are you of the success so far? Because, you know, you're everywhere. It's great.
I'm very proud. I'm really proud, and most importantly, I'm really proud of the school and the guys that have kind of come up, you know, from, you know, coming into, you know, a gym and working their way up to getting onto their first match and stuff like that. A couple of guys here are only having their second or third match today, and you know, I'm proud from, you know, where we came from, you know, the Bishopstown GA Hall, you know, to where we are today with, you know, wrestlers from all around Europe and even the world, in fact, you know, wanting to come and wrestle here in promotions. You know, guys like Doug Williams, Chuck Taylor. You know, we've got guys in the UK like Jack Jester, Pastor William Ever, Jody Fleisch. You know, these are names that if you say to any wrestling fan, they'll be like, wow, you know, I know who these guys are. And like some of those guys, I you know, I can even almost say, you know, some of those guys are friends now. You know what I mean? From being in the business and, you know, from, you know, working with these guys. So, you know, if you asked me back in 2012, would we be still going as strong as ever? I'd probably say I hope we would be, but you know, there's no certainty. There's no certainty. So, you know, I'm really proud. I really am, and you know, to say that we've been in the business for 4 years, and that you know, I suppose, you know, we're, you know, getting good crowds, and you know, all the fans are really appreciative of what we do. You know, it's an honour, and it's a privilege, really. And it's expanding. Now, tell us, you're a great wrestler, I must say. You've been outside of Ireland. Tell us about some of your travels over the last couple of months. Well, firstly, thanks very much. Anytime, Jory. Anytime. I like your character, as I said. It's good. Cheers. I have actually been outside of Europe. I've wrestled in Swiss Power Wrestling in Switzerland. In fact, I'm actually a former Swiss Power Wrestling Romandy champion, believe it or not. Yeah, so won a little bit of gold out there. Had the belt for a couple of months, but unfortunately lost it to Kurt Simmons, who will be appearing for us again next month. It was a really great experience. In fact, actually, I'm booked in Budapest in I think September and November as well. So that's interesting. We were up in Northern Ireland a few months ago as well. So yes, it's good, not just as a promoter, but to be getting out there as a wrestler as well, because, you know, I suppose you always, you know, at first you want to be a wrestler. And you know, at the time there was no schools really that was feasible for me to travel halfway across the country to learn how to wrestle. So I suppose I'm lucky that, you know, when we did set up, that I had the opportunity to then go through the school, go through the ranks with different trainers and coaches, and you know, we've had a lot of guest seminars from, you know, guys all around the world that have you know, yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
and then showed us the ropes and showed how they work their styles and stuff. So, yeah, it's great. Just the more matches you have, the more places you can go. That's, you know, that's the goal.
Definitely, and of course, obviously you're a big fan. What kind of guys did you look up to?
Kind of favourite wrestler of all time.
Was it always the baddies, or was it just?
No, not really. My favourite wrestlers are probably, I suppose you got to say Shawn Michaels. You know, you've got to say Shawn Michaels. If you don't say Shawn Michaels, you're crazy. You're not a wrestling fan. Ric Flair is another big one. But like, I kind of grew up with Stone Cold and The Undertaker.
Yeah.
I was an Undertaker fan. My cousin was Stone Cold, so we were like, you know,
Great,
the highway to hell, Undertaker's going to take down Austin. You know what I mean? But yeah, so there's so many great wrestlers. There's so many magnificent wrestlers in the world. Like, I mean, geez, you know, today you've got like your Seth Rollinses and your AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens is another big one. You know, just as I've gotten older, I think I learned to appreciate the whole show rather than just one particular wrestler. But if I had to say a favourite of all time, it's definitely got to be your Shawn Michaels, your Bret Harts, your Undertakers, your Austins, those kind of guys, you know.
The best in the business.
Yeah,
and of
exactly.
course, you've done so much, but can you tell us your first ever match?
My very first match?
Yeah. What was it like? Nerve-wracking?
Well, you know, I haven't been wrestling that long. I've only been wrestling a couple of years, three or 4 years.
That might be a long time when you were wrestling, though, because there's so many matches probably in that year.
Well, you know, it would be a long time if I was wrestling in WWE and I was wrestling
Yeah.
every day. But you know, sometimes I'll only have maybe 1 or 2 matches a month. Well,
Yeah.
I suppose, you know, we have training matches and stuff as
Yeah.
well. If I'm booked on other shows, I'll have a few. But my very first match was in Limerick City. It was a tag team match, me and DOC against 2 guys that they don't wrestle anymore from Kerry. And I actually got busted wide open in my first match. I tried to do a cannonball jump off the apron. When I was landing on the guys, I got an uppercut straight into the nose, and I was wearing a mask, and I was like, oh Jesus, in the ring like that, kind of, oh bollocks, you know, I'm bleeding, you know.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, the second night, it was actually the next night in Clonakilty. I actually got busted open in that in that match as well.
Proper hair course.
Yeah,
There.
but you know, so I'll never forget my first 2 matches anyway. That's for sure.
Good stuff. And just tell us about like finisher moves and stuff. What kind of moves have you perfected?
Well, I kind of majority of the time I do the discus lariat or the Shandon bells as I call
like
it. You
that
know,
move, yeah.
I'll ring your bell. You know, so it's just a spinning discus clothesline. And you know, obviously I'm not the biggest guy in Irish wrestling, so I'll use that most of the time. But if the opponent's around the same weight as me, I'll use the butterfly pile driver or the I don't know what you call it, the butterfly pile driver, double underhook pile driver. I'll use that. But yeah, I mean, myself and Vice as well, we do a modified version of the Doomsday device for a tag team finish as well. So
Good stuff.
yeah, whatever's gonna get
Do
the
the
job done, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And just of course, last of all, obviously you're going places. It's
I hope
written.
so.
We all know it because CCW it's really picking up with Cork. So it's great that we all, you know, Cork's a small place. We all know what's happening when it comes to CCW.
Yeah.
Future projects, first of all, and of course, tell us what kind of road you want to take because. A lot of you're going places. I've been saying it a long time now. Tell us what would you like to achieve?
I want to bring wrestling back to Neptune. That is my goal. I want to basically scream so loud to the fans of not just the Cork but the whole Munster region to say, hey, here we are. You know, I can see that, you know, Dublin has the bigger population, but you know what? It's time for all the fans to come back, get out of the closet, per se, and say, hey, this is a product that's not just for the family audiences, but also for the over 18s market. We have an option now for both. You can watch CCW Ride live in the Kino, or you can watch the family shows, which is, you know, fun for all ages really, because there's a little something for everyone on all our shows. You know, we've got like a show coming up next month. It's got 30 guys, some of the biggest names in Europe. So the goal is to just get that cult following in the south of Ireland, maybe do a little bit of expansion across the country. But you know what? You know, it would be nice to maybe bring wrestling back to Neptune. I think that whether or not that's a realistic goal, we'll see. But it's something that we're looking to strive for. And in the meantime, I suppose just as a wrestler, try and get as much experience, more experience under my belt, and as many matches under my belt, and continue on the work in the school and keep developing the next crop of Irish pro wrestling.
Sweet. And just tell us about the school, location, what they need to know for anyone that wants to sign up.
Yeah, the location is it's the Marina Business Park, Unit J5, Marina Business Park, Cork City. About a 10-minute walk outside the city.
Not far from the marquee, Dunmap.
Yeah, it's just by the marquee there. We've got classes Tuesdays and Thursdays 7 to 9 and Saturdays 3 to 7. Come on down if you're looking for an education in pro wrestling, if you're looking to maybe possibly be some of the next guys that are going to break onto the CCW scene, or beyond, get down there. We've got a massive facility now. It's actually in Cork Warehouse Gym, formerly known as Celtic Fitness. Yeah. Big, massive facility. There's actually some AstroTurf and everything being put in for a lot of machines that are going to be coming in, and as well as just for wrestling, you can get a good workout there as well. And yeah, so get down there. And it's CCW Pro Wrestling Academy on Facebook.
Good stuff. You hear it, guys. The man himself, he's got a big show tonight. Check out CCW on Facebook. Lee, pleasure as always, my friend.
Jory, thanks very much for having me, brother.
Thanks, guys.
Check out all the latest interviews with Jerry and the Stairs weekly on Sports Matters.